Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawada from the Men of Valor campaign, Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth. And Lord willing, it can be edifying. And this is going to be a different type of video through the Spirit. Lord willing, is edifying. You know, we're going to get the scriptures, but, you know, I had to do some some research on this guy, Scott Bessent. All right, I knew he was the U.S. Treasury. All right, but I did some research on him. All right, and he's more of a demon than I thought. Okay, I was just looking at it from a financial perspective. You know, apparently he is a hedge fund manager. You know, and Trump brought him into the administration. Now he hasn't made a lot of noise until as of lately. All right, and we're about to play this video. All right, because you know most of the shine has gone to Trump himself, or Marco Rubio, or Pete Hegseth, old Petey. All right, but this guy here, Scott Bessent, bro, he's a demon like the rest of them. Okay, this guy is an open sodomite. Where's the outrage from MAGA? Why are y'all allowing this shit, knowing that y'all tend to want to be, you know, heterosexual and you know, all into the church? We're gonna bring out what the Bible say, man. All right, because what are you Christian stance on homosexuality when Yahweh Shai is in the volume of the book? That is including the law. Okay, Yahweh Shai is the word made flesh. But y'all don't put the respect on the Son of the Heavenly Father. You know, Christianity is a farce. It absolutely is. All right, but this guy's he's a sodomite. He's an Edomite, and he's a sodomite, which most Edomites, I'll say, if not all damn Edomites, are sodomites. But they don't tend to always be open about it. This nigga's an open sodomite. Hold on, where this shit at? This guy's an open sodomite. You know, they had a kid via surrogate or some shit. All right, but we're gonna bring out what this devil has said as far as the economy and everything, because that's originally what the video was about. But all right, I also want to bring this out real quick in the law. You know, this is Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Now, this is in our law. Now, Esau, he's contrary to the law. So, of course, he's a sodomite. All right, but in the kingdom, our laws will be enforced to all nations. We're going to subjugate the nations. Esau as well. Now, Esau is going to be the one that's going to be fucking rebellious because he's a natural sodomite. Okay? He's a sodomite. So I just wanted to bring that out through the Spirit, you know, which they all are. They the true PDF files. They're they're sodomites. They're going to try to project that shit onto us. Okay? But the Lord hates, he hates that, you know, bearing false witness. And you about to bear false witness against his servants, the prophets. All right? The Lord, he hears it. He's waiting for you to make your move. I mean, he's going to put the Spirit on you to make your move. And he's also waiting on you to make your move. It's all the will of the Lord, man. That's what these guys don't know what the fuck they're doing. You know? America didn't let, not America, but the Trump administration, they fucked around and let them damn tiny tots scare their ass into doing their bidding with Iran, and there's no off-ramp for this war in Iran. So they're going through their oil reserves to try to keep this shit afloat, try to buy time. They want Iran to fold, but Iran clearly has not folded. They've won. Your next best move, and you know, I'm seeing different reports speak on it, is a tactical nuke or a ground invasion. Either way, this is the end of your kingdom. Okay, this is up for you. You're backed into a corner. So no matter whichever way you move, now you have other players that are ready to take your head off. Iran is fully quickened against you, awakened against you. Russia, you done pissed Russia off. That's Ezekiel 38 coming to pass. The Tiny Tots fucking with they're fucking with Gomer now, Turkey. Okay, which is a NATO. This is going to be a big controversy because they're a NATO member. Okay, and they did it in Syria so they, Article 5 wouldn't be activated, because Article 5 under the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, that's what NATO stands for, which is the beast, right? It's the beast. But that would, in that, all the nations in America is within that to have to attack. So that's a conflict of interest, because America is an ally of Turkey via NATO, and also has tethered their military to the Tiny Tops. So we know through the spirit and according to prophecy, the beast shall hate the whore. America is about to be isolated from the world with the state of Israel. That is fact. They're going to hate the whore and burn her ass with fire. This place is going to get nuked by its own allies. Your own NATO nuclear power allies. France, Great Britain. I don't know who. I think those are the only couple. Germany. I'm sure Germany got them. Pakistan got them. China got them. North Korea got a bunch of them. Russia got the most. And America has them. But the Lord said 200 million missiles are going to pelt this bitch. We don't know how the Lord going to bring it. We don't know the exact day. But that is still going to happen. The Lord's will be done on earth. But getting back to the video, this guy Bessent, all right, because this has to do with the economy. The economy is faltering, and the monopoly money, the fund money has run dry. As far as its buying power, they didn't drove this bitch into the damn ground. They're having to buy back their own debt. You got Treasury yield bonds spiking 5%. That's making their future borrowing expensive, basically. Borrowing for the future. Businesses, banks, you trying to get a home, you're going to have to pay more. You're trying to get a car, you're going to have to pay more. On top of the fact that the economy is doing worse. You're going to hear this devil speak on this shit as well. He saying the job market is growing. No, the hell it's not. Even the Federal Reserve came out and acknowledged that it's not growing. That's why they're not pulling the trigger on cutting interest rates, because they know inflation isn't done. People aren't working, which means people aren't spending, which means these businesses are losing revenue. So a lot of them run the credit, but borrowing is now getting more expensive. They're also having to prop up the Japanese yen, and the South Korean stock market and economy is collapsing. And again, they started this war with Iran and they can't get out of it. So you see how America is fucked. But this guy, they're going to still lie through their teeth to the end. So check this out.
Is the Secretary of the Treasury for the Trump administration. Prior to taking that job, he was known to be a millionaire, billionaire, whatever, very smart financial guy. So he seemed like a reasonable choice for Donald Trump, except with Donald Trump, you need to have one other quality. You need to be a sycophant. You need to be willing to lie for Donald Trump, and that's exactly what he's doing. In the last couple of days, he's said three things that are absolutely incorrect, absolutely a lie. He's saying that more people are getting jobs in this country now because of the mass deportations. This is not true. Unemployment's going up, and Donald Trump is not creating new jobs. So that's a flat-out lie. Secondly, he said that the $40 trillion debt that we now have, it's okay because we'll grow out of it.
Yeah, I heard him say that. He said they'll grow out of it. The fuck you mean? The economy is shrinking, and y'all are the ones shrinking it. It's gonna hit 50 trillion, and now it's starting to steamroll. When this number gets big like this, it begins to steamroll on itself. Imagine like a snowball going down a fucking big ass hill. Better yet, a cliff. The shit's just picking up speed. Inertia. That's the U.S. debt at this point. And Trump has contributed under his tenures, and he's talking about running again or staying president. He's already attributed a good, almost damn near half of that U.S. debt just within his 6 years alone. And this debt has been going back all the way to when they established the Federal Reserve, which I believe was after them boys went to Jekyll Island. But this is the end of that system, but they're about to bring in the new one. That's the mark of the beast, the MOTB, as we call it. That when they micro see up everyone, they already got you people conditioned and hooked on this way of living. All they have to do is take it away a little bit. Y'all have withdrawals, and you'll be willing to take it. Some might fight a little longer than others. All right, but that is the hour of temptation that shall come upon the whole world. It will be enforced. Before America gets pelted with those nuclear missiles, this has to happen. So we know it has to be soon because, again, there's no off-ramp with this Iran conflict. They're about to more than likely try to go in. They gonna send your damn sons, and there's gonna be, hey, they gonna enact this draft going into December 1st. Hey, it's going down.
Scott Bessent,
But that 40 trillion is going up.
is the Secretary of the Treasury for the Trump administration. Prior to taking that job, he was known to be a millionaire, billionaire, whatever, very smart financial guy. So he seemed like a reasonable choice for Donald Trump, except with Donald Trump, you need to have one other quality. You need to be a sycophant. You need to be willing to lie for Donald Trump, and that's exactly what he's doing. In the last couple of days, he's said three things that are absolutely incorrect, absolutely a lie. He's saying that more people are getting jobs in this country now because of the mass deportations. This is not true. Unemployment's going up, and Donald Trump is not creating new jobs. So that's a flat-out lie. Secondly, he said that the $40 trillion debt that we now have, it's okay because we'll grow out of it, meaning we'll grow the economy so the 40 trillion will go away. Well, that's a nice thought, but the fact of the matter is the GDP is going down, dropping like a rock. That's not how we grow. It's got to go up. So again, another lie. And then after that, somebody questioned him about oil prices. Oil prices are really high. And he said, God damn it, I can't get my head around that. I don't know why that is. I don't know how that could happen. Oh, I got an idea, Scott. How about your boss started a war? They closed the Strait of Hormuz. They cut off 20% of the world's oil getting out. That could have maybe done it, but he would never admit that. This guy annoys me to no end. He annoys me to no end. He's a hypocrite. He's a gay man, married. He's out. He has kids. Yet he works with Donald Trump to marginalize the LGBTQ community. He will say anything, even though he knows what he's saying is absolutely wrong. Apparently, he only cares about power and money, and he doesn't give a fuck how he gets it. He stands up in front of the cameras every day, and he lies to us. He just flat out lies to us. The problem is, that's everybody in the cabinet. We're dealing with a government, an administration that does nothing but lie to the American people.
Well, it's a taste of your own.
Scott
And it's not
Bessent
even this isn't even anything new. These motherfuckers just lying to you people. This is the first time that it's affecting your ass though. When it was affecting us, all right, nobody, you ain't hear a fucking peep. As long as the money was fucking flowing, all right, now you people's pockets are hurting. Now you want to make it an issue of, oh, this administration. Y'all voted this motherfucker in here. Whether the votes mattered or not. Overwhelmingly, you motherfucker, you damn Northern Kingdom. And what did he do? He sicked ice on your ass. Showing you he's against you. To you Edomites, he has shown you that he is loyal to those ones that are over in our land cosplaying us. Badly, might I say. Okay, you got a bunch of sodomites over there. All right, the Lord hey, what were they doing in Sodom and Gomorrah? The same shit they doing here now. Matter of fact, Isaiah chapter 13. Yeah, let me get that verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. Now, in this sense right here, the Medes are speaking about the Russians. Okay, they're also known as Gog and Magog in Ezekiel the 38th chapter. Which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. And we're getting to a point now where you have the BRICS that has been set up between, you got Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, I believe, and there's more nations that's joining. All right, but they're also locked in militarily with Iran. So they're setting up a system to self-sustain themselves outside of America's money. Because what has America done? They've sent sanctions on, Russia when they went into Ukraine. They sent sanctions on Iran, and they talking about putting more sanctions, but they've already learned how to live without your sanctions. So, your economic warfare no longer works on them. All right, now we're getting to the point where we're talking about cyber warfare, because you're out of munitions and everybody knows it. And see, the enemy, you're allowing your enemy Esau in Babylon, the great America. You're allowing your enemies to reload, to reposition, and to figure hey, the world has seen you bleed. You done got hit in the fucking nose. You started some shit that you can't finish. And the world knows it. The world sees it. So Russia isn't fucking with, your economic partnerships anymore. It's war. They know you as well as these EU nations are directly behind this conflict in Ukraine. China has been sitting back in the cut. They're gonna take Taiwan. They can take it now. But you damn devils ain't done destroying yourself. All right, see, they're a different type of people. They're not Edomites. They're wicked too. All right, but they're a little wiser than you. That's why their economy has been, they're getting sent through the ringer too, because everybody that's tied to America is going down. But China is at least they're going to attempt to sit atop of this next era. What they think is about to be, it's going to be a real short-lived era. An era is just a period of time of this NWO, because China's already, they're going to enforce that damn micro chip on their people, man. All right, they're going to make it to where they're going to have a social credit system. You're not going to be able to buy or sell. All right, but America's decaying on its own, And there's a saying, I don't know where exactly it's from, but it's like an old war saying or some shit. But you don't interrupt your fucking enemy. They destroying themselves. Esau is against his fucking self right now. So China just sitting back in the cut. But Psalms chapter 2, why did the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing? Moab think he got next. No, nigga. All y'all about to be slaves. Anywho, verse 18, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces. What are the bows? Your cruise missiles, your, tomahawk missiles, ballistic missiles. All of that, all the way up to your nukes, are going to dash your young men into pieces. It says, that they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. Why? Because these missiles, ultimately, the nuclear missiles, is mutually assured destruction. There are no survivors in Babylon. Men, women, children. There's going to be old motherfuckers. There's going to be newborns in that nuclear fire. Why? Because those spirits are ancient. Okay, this is a mass judgment the Lord is about to have, take place on the earth. And if you're in that nuclear missile, the Lord hates you. Okay? And 2/3 of our people going to get left here and melted. If they make it through Jacob's trouble. If they make it through Jacob's trouble and they're on the shores of America and they don't get called up, all right, their ass is grass too. The nuclear missile's going to get them. If they take that sea up, the nuclear missile's going to get them. All right, because there is going to be, those that take that micro CHIP, they're going to get returned to a sense of like normalcy. That's why the day of the Lord is going to come as a thief in the night. All right, but they're going to be CHIP'd up. That's why it says in Revelation, the 14th chapter, that those that receive that charagma, they're going to be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and the Lamb when Yahushua pulls up, man. The day of the Lord is the climax point. Okay, it's not the end. It's the end of Esau's world, but it's the beginning of ours. That's why 2nd Ezra 6th chapter goes into that. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. But these nuclear missiles aren't going to spare anyone that's not of the elect. Verse 19, here's the point. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. That was the point I wanted to get. All right, because they've been out here freaking off. You know,
Scott Bessent.
They made it legal under Obama and shit. You got a lot of our people out here, you know, Saucy Santana ass niggas out here. Atlanta full of them. You know, you got women that are studs and shit, bullshit. That's Romans 1. The Lord's about to get all you people, man. That's why we just pray that we're getting your blood off of our hands. We're sounding the alarm. America's not okay. Damn what they're saying on the Western media. The tiny tops own that shit. They're going to keep lying to you people. But what's really happening? You feel it. Now your pockets are starting to hurt. And it's a slow squeeze. Like a constrictor. You can't take as many vacations now. Amex is cutting your damn limits now. But they've been saying this is, in the financial world, they've been speaking on this. It's coming. They said inflation, recession. That's why they haven't cut interest rates yet, because they know that it's not done falling. The dollar is not done weakening. They use those rate cuts as like stopgaps, because they're going to the printing press. But yeah. Bessent, he's lying about that damn about the 40 trillion in debt. Oh, he also said he didn't know why. He didn't know why oil was spiking, because they holding a lot of oil shorts. All right, Iran called that shit out too. They're tampering with the markets with the war, which we already knew, but Iran came out and said it. You know, I just wanted to speak on this Bessent guy, because he's lying. He's the one. He's in control of, you know, talking about the money, not the Federal Reserve. That's his own body. But as far as the Trump administration, he's over that. This Bessent guy. You're gonna hear more from him as the economy continues to collapse, and you're gonna see him continue to lie. All right, but hey, Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter goes into he that ladeth himself with thick clay. You know, hey, your ass is out of here, dude. Get ready. How ye, you know, you rich men. You know, your riches are corrupted. Your garments are moth-eaten. You know, you didn't squeeze people out. You didn't made sure that people stayed poor. You know, you hyping up, you're propping up yourself on the back of the American populace, even your own, for the tiny tops, so they can have free healthcare, free health. People know that shit now, man. This isn't secret. They not, you know, they scared to speak up about it, but they know. More often than not, these Edomites know. You Jakes, you don't fucking know what's going on. You just know LeBron is in Philly. That's all you know. But nonetheless, you know, this is what's going on. It's fucking ants, man. Yep. So Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Wakakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.